Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy Szafron. This is Kitco News. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for the latest. Now, in the world of precious metals, the spotlight is often on gold, but today it's silver taking the center stage. Recently, silver has been making headlines not just for its luster, but for its price movements in the market. Now today, silver spots trading around $31 US. Silver bulls looking for the next upside price objective is closing prices above solid technical resistance at the May high of $32.75. Now, we've seen fluctuations in silver prices over the last few months, mostly driven by a range of factors from inflation fears to changes in industrial demand, particularly in sectors like solar energy, where silver is a key component. China, also a huge player here, as the East continues to dominate precious metals buying. Now, we're here to break it all down for you today. We're joined by Chen Lin, a seasoned newsletter writer known for his sharp market insights and profitable picks. Chen's website, chenpicks.com, has been a go-to resource for many looking to understand and to capitalize on the precious metals market. Chen, great to see you again, my friend. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Let's dive into this. We got so much to get to in such a short amount of time, but let's start by giving a little bit of a lay of the land, giving the audience and myself an overview of the current silver market at play here. Talk to me about the price movements that we've seen in the past couple of months, and more importantly, what's been driving them?
Yeah, silver has been breaking out a key resistance of $30, and it broke $30 about a few weeks ago, and has been continuing to stay above that, which is very, very important. If you look at the history of silver rally, okay, especially the recent one, 2011, once they clear the $30, retest it, which already did, retest, I think they dropped to 30.1. I remember that. That's last week. And then it bounced back, on the way up, very quickly go to $50. That's what happened last time. And then I expect the same will happen.
Okay, let's break that down. I mean, you have a bold prediction here. You just kind of mentioned it. You see silver at $50. Not a crazy call, but here's what I find interesting. You're calling for that $50 by June. So what are the critical factors or events to support the projection here, Chen?
Yeah, a couple of factors. Okay, first, you can see the China silver stock in Shanghai Stock Exchange. It's dropping like a rock. It's almost hitting 10-year low. And at this pace, it will be zero by the end of the year, before that. That's first thing. And second, there's sudden interest of buying silver in China in past 2 months. Actually, you see that it has been consistent premium of Shanghai premium of silver over New York, about 10% for 2 months already. If you notice, last September, I made a call on gold, last September. At that time, China started by China consumer. I'm not saying central bank they've been buying. I'm saying Chinese investors, like me, like many other investors. They start buying gold around that time, second half of the year. You can see the Shanghai premium suddenly jump since that time. And then what happened? A few months later, we have a big breakout in gold. The silver, it just started, the silver rally. And then the silver premium in the past 2 months has been consistently 10% over New York. So that means massive silver will be going from the west to the east, just like gold. And then we should see very continuous sharp rally in silver price. That's just one factor. And the second factor is we having a historical deficit in silver, basically supply and demand gap. If you follow history, right now, the supply-demand gap is almost as big, if not bigger, of 1950s. If you recall what happened in 1960s, we ran out of silver, so we stopped minting the silver coin. There used to be, if you're old enough in the United States, the silver coin used to be 90%. The quarter coin, the dollar coin, quarter coin used to be 90% silver. Now, it's all gone because 1960 we run out of silver. So right now the deficit is very similar to 1950, and then I see potentially, if investors see what I see, a huge squeeze on silver coming. First stop is 50, but I believe long-term silver price probably supports $30 to $50 somewhere. So I think eventually we'll break 50, overshoot, and then come down maybe to the long-term price of reprice it to $30 to $50 range.
Wow. Okay. So are you talking about you're talking about June, looking at these dates. So, is it mostly the China aspect? And more importantly, let's get into that a little bit. I'm kind of curious about the Chinese market in terms of investors. Why the sudden appeal? We've seen it with gold, specifically from the central banks, but now turning to silver, is it because it's cheaper? Is it because it's more readily available?
Yeah, exactly. As you said, I mean, Chinese investor, you have to understand China's situation just opposite of what we have right now. We have a relatively high interest rate. You can collect 5% interest on CD in the United States, or probably in Canada. So you can just park money somewhere. In China, just opposite. Very similar to us in 2009. There's a cash for clunker program right now. Cash for clunker. Remember in 2009, if you have a car, you can put the door together, you push it to the dealer, they give you a $5,000 credit for the new car. It's happening right now in China. Okay. So the Chinese government tried to stabilize the market, try to stabilize the consumer demand. They have cash for clunker, they're doing QE. Okay, they're actually buying empty apartment right now, try to stabilize the whole housing market. Anyways, it seems to have a little bit of effect because IMF just upgraded China the growth prospect this year. But my point is, all the investors have negative interest rate, right? And then there's a capital control, right? You cannot just freely exchange money out of China, but they can buy precious metal. So that's how the gold started. They started at second half of last year. It looks like it's like a wildfire. It's spreading to silver. Plus, in addition to that, silver, we're running a huge deficit.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to get into next, Chen. Talk to me a little bit about this supply and demand issue. Going back to the 60s, we have some history to look at. What are we dealing with? How bad is this demand issue?
Right now, it's a photovoltaic or solar panel. It's taking off like a rocket, right? 2 years ago, it's probably taking 100 million. Last year, taking about 200 million. And this year, according to the Silver Institute, over 200 million, and I'm disputing that. I think it's more than 300 million because I have more concrete data to prove they're wrong. And they already admitted last year they were underestimated. It's on their own word. They just published last month. It's on their website. Okay, so we're looking at 300 million deficit, I believe, this year. And if you look at what happened to Microsoft, in order to run their AI farm, they just went to solar, right? The solar, because the AI farm needs a lot of power. And then we saw that in the United States, the first solar stock already at all-time high. And then the energy stock is the utility stock, electric utility stock is at very high, right? It's going a huge momentum behind that because AI needs a lot of power. The fastest way to get power actually is through solar. Microsoft is the leader of AI. They already went to solar. They just announced $10 billion investment. So how about Google? How about Apple? How about Tesla? So my point is, if everybody follow Microsoft's lead and turn to solar, we will have a much bigger deficit. I think in a recent interview, I talk about potential 500 million next year because the solar panel industry is underutilized. Only utilization is less than 50%. So you can imagine, if suddenly they're fully utilized, the gap actually will be more than 500 million. That's a very scary number.
That is scary. Okay, good. Let's go back to China just for a quick second, because you were kind of just talking about, the diverging path between the U.S. and China. Very, very different in the economy right now. Does this mean that the Chinese buyers are just getting started? Talk to me a little bit about the forecast. How long do you anticipate this going on for?
Yeah, since second half of last year, Chinese buyer has been buying gold. Like we see gold premium of Shanghai over New York, which means gold has been getting into China or smuggled into China. There are people smuggle into China gold right now as we're speaking.
Yeah.
They have been consistent for the past year. So the silver just got started. In the past 2 months, if you look at the premium chart, premium and versus Shanghai versus New York just got started for past 2 months. So I expect this to last for a very long time.
Okay. When we look at the chart, Chen, it almost seems like it hits that resistance level and then the prices get pushed back again. You were talking a little bit about manipulation. I'm curious what your takes are on the pricing here. What's pushing the prices down if we have such a supply deficit?
Right. There's a complaint to CFTC last night that silver was too volatile, too high. They think investors manipulate the price too high, over 30. Suddenly it was 20. Why is 30 now? Yeah. But as I said, I believe the fundamental support $30 to $50. So actually, the market recognize this is not right. They're trying to search for a right price. They're repricing the silver. I believe we're going higher, much higher from here.
Now, we've seen some movement in the equity markets related to precious metals, particularly gold miners. We're starting to see a little bit of that balance on the silver equities. What stocks are you watching here? Where do you think that the divergence of that cost is going to add to the equity price?
Oh, I see both gold and silver producers or miners are very, very undervalued. Okay, there is a recent report came out that we will experience historical high in the price. Okay, in the margin in the both gold miner and silver miner. So if this continues, so I'm extremely excited, and I think we're living in very interesting times. So just wait for 1 quarter, because the Q2 going to be phenomenal quarter for the gold miner, and then Q3 will even better. The margin will be even better than the 2012 margin. So the good time is coming.
Okay, Chen, our audience wants to know what you're buying. I mean, at these prices, you're saying that there's some discounts in the markets on the evaluation side. What stocks are you watching? Is it gold and silver equities on the mining, or is it just silver at this point?
Oh, I have both. I have a big portfolio on gold and silver. And for gold right now, currently my biggest is Kinross Gold, and they're going to have a Great Bear feasibility coming in second half of the year, and it should be another leg up, right? So, and then relatively their valuation, even though they appreciate a lot, they're still relatively cheap. And I have many juniors. I don't know what's appropriate, to mention smaller companies, but I also own a lot of silver company as well. My silver biggest right now is Hecla. It's appreciated a lot, and if silver goes to 50, it probably has a lot of room to go.
Hecla, yeah, I've heard a lot about that stock, and in fact, a very interesting company. I think Kitco Mining's had them on a couple of times. Okay, talk to me about when the general market comes in. I mean, we're definitely seeing some central banks coming in and buying gold, but for the consumers out west, when are retail investors going to jump into precious metal equities?
Not yet, surprisingly. I've been very focused talking to a lot of fund managers. A very few fund has seen inflow. So that's actually opened up a great opportunity for your audience who focus on precious metal investment. I think this year could be one of the greatest year for precious metal investment, and especially in the junior side. I just had a conference for my subscriber. It's just valuation is unbelievable. Before, if you remember, a few years ago, it used to be if you have 1 ounce of gold in the ground in the reserve worth maybe $100, or resource maybe 50, or early stage worth 10 or 20. No, right now everything is thrown out of the window. Your valuation is what is your last financing price. It's unbelievable, right? It's so for small company, there's so many opportunities, and I'm very, very excited about that. Put it this way.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned about it on the miner side. If we're going to come into a deficit on the supply of silver, it would make sense that some of these miners, specifically juniors, maybe some of the bigger groups out there and some of the bigger companies would then benefit. Who are you looking at this year having your ROI?
Right. You mean the big or small?
Oh, we can go big and small, Chen. Why don't you give us a couple of picks on the larger caps, and then we can go to small caps.
Right, large cap I already mentioned Hecla. In small cap, there's a little silver mining company called Guanajuato Silver, and highly leveraged silver price. Because most of the silver mining company have bankrupt, right? We have Okana bankrupt, we have all the other just either wipe out or were taken over by the big boy. And then this company is still mostly producing silver. They're producing right now. They lost a lot of money last year at $20. They will make a lot of money at $30 and beyond. So that's direct leverage. I mean, and actually they have more silver actually than a lot of those silver big cap, right? So,
Yeah.
and then there's another small silver company, silver related, started Pasco, which I own and a lot of my subscribers own. I talked to the management. They just got a Peruvian president, San Eastman, fifth time in the history. So they have the support of government. And they did all this financing actually drove them all the way down. And then they want to grow from here without financing. We'll see, finger crossed.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about the renewable energy side within China. They're really aggressively expanding renewable energy on the global silver demand. I'm curious, looking towards the U.S., is it going to catch up on this side of the Western world, or are we just so far behind the East that they're in control now?
Oh, there is United States has the first solar, okay, and then there's a Toledo solar as well. They're using cadmium tellurium technology, slightly different, thin film. They don't use silver, but their capacity is quite constrained because their efficiency not as high as the silver-related solar panel. The new solar panel factor mostly as silver-related for the United States. So if my point I'm trying to make is Microsoft already jumped into solar. Because the power usage for the AI data center is so much, we need a lot more. And then in the meantime, because of the manufacturer coming into United States, coming back onshore, we need a lot of power as well. Just without AI, we already have power shortage. Look at what happened to Texas, right? Recently, their power price spiked 100-fold, multiple times already. It's not even summer. So we're looking at the potential rolling blackout in the torching summer for a lot of people living in the South. It's amazing. I mean, so we need a lot of power. Solar panel is the fastest way. There are also other ways. People looking at using nuclear, people using maybe natural gas, burn more natural gas, maybe even coal. But we desperately need more power. And solar panel just an easy way to go to get there.
All right, so Chen, you're very bullish on gold, you're very bullish on silver. Talk to me before I let you go on copper, another commodity that's been doing really, really well. I mean, that metal has been really surging on the price side, but there's some analysts that are saying that the price could triple from where it is now. What's your take?
Oh, yeah, for the long term, it's very possible. What driven copper, I actually was quite stay away from copper until March of this year. I was very lucky just because I got some air from China. They are making those transformers for AI data center, right? AI data center, you need to convert the voltage from 110 to 1.6, 1.5, whatever their specification has to be very precise. Otherwise, you'll burn the chip. Those use a lot of copper because it's a copper wire in, copper wire out, use the magnet, that's basically it is. And then those kind of order went up a few 1,000%. That's what's driven the copper run in the past few weeks. Past few months, beginning of the year. Okay, so because those orders,
it's so Asian based. Yeah,
explode. That's why I'm saying the AI going to drive so much. This just for copper. I mean, if you think about AI, if people think Microsoft is the right way, I urge every investor to follow what Google is doing, Amazon is doing. If they follow Microsoft into solar, the silver deficit will be enormous. 500 million easily, we can get 500 million. Then what silver price we're going to be? It's going to be, right? So, and I think copper, not just for a small component called the transformer for the AI center. And then our grid, even you use solar panel, how about transmission, right? All these need copper. So we are coming to a stage of our society of this. We need a lot of copper down the road, and then there's not enough copper out there.
So you're positioning now. I guess what I'm hearing, Chen, is it's time to start buying some of the junior miners, some of the precious metals, maybe some of the larger cap companies, and do it while there's still a discount at the market.
Not maybe. Yes, you need to buy all the miners because this is probably one of the best opportunities. I just talked to my subscriber. I just have a conference call. So this is very similar to 2009. Remember, if you buy any miner in 2009, you will make a lot of money. Just remember to sell some. That 2011, 2012, which I did. I told my subscriber to sell in 2012. So that's why my newsletter was Chen's buying, what is selling. I think to tell them when to sell. You need to remember when to sell, actually. But my point is, there's so much value out there from producer to junior to everything. And if it's a stock picker market, and then you just get on the train and enjoy investing.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about selling, and before I let you go, it's an important aspect to break down because a lot of people forget to take profit. They think it's going to just continue to go up. What are you looking for there? What are the types of things that make you sell?
Oh, yeah. Well, right now I'm selling platinum and told my subscribers I've been buying a very profitable trade. I bought at like 900. I use the future market. So actually they're very leveraged. So not any people, every people should use. Okay. So you can use ETF as well. So right now it's over 1,000. As I said, China is has a big program, Cash for Conquer, right? You push the old car in, you get a new car out. Most of the new car are electrical car. Right, you put your old car in as old gasoline cars, right? So I can see in a few months, all these platinum, palladium will get recycled back in a few months. So I'm not very bullish on platinum. So I told my subscriber, let's sell, we'll take profit, nice profit. So see you later. Maybe we'll see you at 900 again.
Okay, well, I mean, it just reminds the audience again that commodities are very cyclical.
Absolutely. You need to be able to ride the cyclical wave and be profitable. That's most important.
Profit. We're all here to make a little bit of money. Chen Lin from ChenPicks.com joining us today from New Jersey. Hey, thanks for this, Chen. I'm looking forward to talking to you when you get a little bit more insight about what's happening out east. You're my go-to guy. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thanks, Chen. I'm Jeremy Szafron. For all of us here at Kitco News, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, tell us who you want to see on the show, and we'll see you next time.